Today we have TJ Reynolds, a former teammate and roommate in the ECHL. TJ, former 14-year pro, over 200 plus AHL games and 700 professional games. I also attended 7 NHL main camps. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
It's
been a while since I saw you last.
Yeah. So Rennie, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit more and just tell the followers of who you are and what you've done just in a brief?
Yeah, I just had quite the career, I guess. Started out in the OHL and basically just grinding my way. I guess we'll go over it through the podcast here a bit, but a lot of hard work. Did what I had to do to stay on the teams and that kind of thing. So now I'm all done. I'm back in Canada, Kitchener, Ontario, working for an oil company doing sales. And I never thought about doing that or, planned on it. But really, use your connections and stuff. And, I was a captain in a lot of my teams, and it wasn't because I was the best player. It was, a team guy kind of thing. I think that helped me a lot, interacting with fans, the team mentality with teammates and stuff. Everyone's got different personalities, and it really just, I gave this a shot, and it's worked out pretty good. I don't mind it. I kind of work my own hours, and it's all about interactions, talking to people, being honest, being truthful. I think it goes a long way. The company I work for, they hired a few other guys that kind of came and went. They had all the schooling in the world. All the resume was through the roof and stuff. But at the end of the day, if they can't kind of shoot the breeze with somebody and be honest with them and get back to them and that kind of stuff, then it doesn't really work. So there's things to learn and all that kind of stuff. But it's been pretty good because I was a little worried about what I was going to do after hockey. I wasn't really prepared. I always thought about coaching and stuff like that, and had a lot of connections in hockey after all the years. But when my career ended, I think I had 6 different surgeries on my wrist. I got my wrist totally fused now. And it was just kind of a bitter taste in my mouth. I was just so sick of it. I didn't want to start over riding the bus, being a coach, trying to make it and stuff like that. So I wanted to get back home to where family is and friends are and stuff like that, and kind of have a little reboot. And it's been great.
Yeah, no, all that stuff, all important stuff for the youth coming up need to know. A lot of that is including it's real life type stuff, like as you mentioned, telling the truth, being honest, even holding yourself accountable is what you do as a player in hockey. That's just kind of what's being taught by many different coaches these days, especially guys that have been through it, just how tough as you get up in levels, but also the pro game is very tough. You have to be in that mindset to be better every day.
That's what I think. It's all mental. I mean, my whole career is just being mentally strong and refusing to lose, refusing to get that spot taken from me and stuff. So I can start out. I played minor hockey in Kitchener. I was a defenseman, and I know kids these days and the guys you talk to, they're way more prepared than I was. I was just having fun playing the game, and it goes a long way. I was always a hard worker, and got drafted to Oshawa Generals in the OHL. A late pick, an eighth round pick. And, in my mind, I told everybody I'm leaving. I'm going to play in the OHL, on a big deal kind of thing. Well, I get there and fitness testing, that was central scouting's there and the cameras on you. I remember there's a 45-pound weight on each side and how many you can do. And Andrew Peters is doing 25 and Trevor Gillies is doing like 30. I get up there and I didn't do one. I never tried a bench press before in my life, right? Don't do one. Go on the treadmill, 10 incline, 10 miles an hour. I battled through that one, but it didn't look good. I was sore for a week after that. So that rookie year, I remember in training camp, the assistant coach came to me and he goes, listen, the coach Goody's think about sending you back because we thought you were a little bit tougher and stuff. Just letting you know, you got one more inter squad left. In my mentality, I'm like, okay, well, one more inter squad to do something. So what I do, I go buckets off with Andrew Peters, center ice. And Andrew Peters was, at that point, he was toughest guy, one of the toughest guys in the league. And he beat me. I showed up, stuck around, got my foot in the door. Coaches liked me. and I was up and down in the Tier 2 Legionnaires at Junior B and in Oshawa Generals that year. And the next year I came in, and I'm putting up 20 on the bench press, and I put on, I went from 175 to 205, and now I'm in the system, and that's just my whole career went like that. And then it grinded it out, and got traded to Toronto St. Mike's, and we had a good team there. Had a lot of older guys. So my overage year, I got traded to Mississauga, where Don Cherry was the coach, and Don Cherry's my kind of guy. Work hard, everything else, and I was fighting quite a bit and stuff too. But I was a solid D man. I wasn't a liability. I was a good D man. I remember after that season, he's asked me what I'm going to do. I thought I might get drafted as an overager. There was kind of talks, but I didn't. And so I was enrolled in Brock University and was going to go that route. And it would have been good. It would have been great to do 4 years in Brock, and you never know what you can do after that. But really, Don was like, one of my good buddies is Mike Keenan. Go to rookie camp in Hull, Quebec for Florida Panthers and just see what happens. You can always go back to school. So I went to rookie camp in Hull and fought a few times, got my foot in the door, all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden I'm on a plane down to Fort Lauderdale, the main camp with, Bomeister and Weiss and Krychek and all their top prospects. And even in main camp, so I'm playing exhibition games, got a few fights there, just got my foot in the door. And then, guys are getting sent back to junior because they're high prospects and they're only 17 years old and stuff. But I'm 20, turning 21 that year, so I can't go back to junior. So it was a day before the final day rosters, right? I already went to a party with these guys in South Beach and stuff with like Ole Okunin and Peter Royale and Valerie Burry, and these guys are there. But then I get called in. I'm like, I know I'm not going to make the team here. There's 10 defensemen on one-way NHL contracts. It was ridiculous. But Mike Keenan and Rick Dudley called me in and said, TJ, we love your style, love how hard you work. Go play for my buddy John Brophy in Wheeling, West Virginia, in the East Coast. And that's where I started pro hockey, and it kind of went from there. And that year, I played tough. I had 372 penalty minutes and 35 fighting majors, led the league, and then I'm making $500 a week, whatever. My fridge didn't work. I had my milk on my windowsill.
Yeah.
And,
for those, when you also too relating to the kids, when we're saying $500 a week, that's basically just like minimum wage. That are just starting out and that are younger in their high school days or just coming out of high school. It's just minimum wage just for them to relate.
Yeah, and it's just you're not paying for anything, and you're living your dream, and you're with a bunch of buddies and stuff. So you don't really need money, but you work hard. I mean, there was 2 or 3 years I was making 70, 90 grand a year in Milwaukee and Springfield and stuff, and I had bonuses for games played and stuff. I remember we made like 96 grand in Milwaukee one year just because of bonuses, and I was sitting at like 54 games played, and Claude Noel played me the last game to get another $5 grand bonus, and then we went to the finals in the Calder Cup, and that year it was all a lot of like Hershey and Providence, a lot of fans in the stands, and they go by the chairs, right? So our playoff bonus after taxes was like 19 or 20 grand, and I'm just like, this is awesome. So yeah, it just that was my whole career, just doing that. I was a team guy. Working, I always had to work on my skating in the summertime, but I loved it. Like I'd be a guy that'd be at the gym for a couple hours, and then even if I wasn't in a hockey camp, I'd just go play pickup hockey, at the local arena, and there'd be 5 or 6 pro guys out there and some guys playing university, and you can use that time on the ice to kind of mess around and whatever, or you can use that time, because I remember me and Trevor Gillies and his brother Nate, we'd everyone would go get out 20 minutes late. We go out there right as soon as it starts, as soon as the Zamboni gets off, and we'd be doing over and backs. We'd be bagging ourselves, and when we play, like we weren't bad guys to the younger guys and stuff, but like you got a back check. Well, everyone else is just standing around. It's just shinny hockey. Well, we're flying back, stopping, just using it because I even see kids now, they're going like, your parents are spending a lot of money on you. They're investing a lot of time on you and stuff. And that's where, like, when I coach kids, I tell them right away, like, I'm not going to waste my time. If you're going to waste your time and your parents' time and stuff, then what are we doing? I think I'm too qualified to be wasting my time doing this, right? And there's been times where I've told guys to get off the ice, and it can either go one way or the other, and the dad will come down and say, "What are you doing kicking my kid off the ice?" And say, "Well, listen, if he doesn't want to learn and he's wrecking drills for other people and stuff, then what are you doing?" You know? And there's been times where that same kid came back, apologized, "I'll work harder." I said, "That, you know, talk is cheap. Just show me." And that kid went on to the hardest worker, and I think he got drafted last year. I haven't taught him in years. This is when he was like 13, but it's mental, and if you want it, you can have it. And the game has changed. It's skilled. It's a big time skill. But like me and you were talking beforehand, man, the guys that have a bit of grit and sandpaper in their game, and the guys that can get to the tough areas, the guys that do the little tiny things, and, toe dragging and doing the Svechnikov goals and stuff like that. That's all fun and stuff. But look at the playoffs now. Like these guys, like McKinnon, like that guy is awesome because he's got both. He's so skilled, so fast, and he can be a bit of a gritty player out there. So guys like that, even like Kadri and those guys, like watching Colorado, they got the best of both worlds as far as grit and stuff. And that's something you can't really teach, because you and me both, like, I'd be playing in the A and stuff, and there'd be a first, second, third round guy on our team and stuff. It's like, wow, man, if I had half this guy's skill, because and coaches would tell him, like, get a little grittier, do these little things. I played with Robbie Shrimp in Springfield. Great guy, awesome hands, and he had a career and everything else. But who else? O'Sullivan was my underager in this saga and stuff. But those, like, if I feel like if I had Shrimp's hands and vision and skill and stuff, I'd still be playing in the NHL. But it's hard to teach that. Some guys you can't teach that. Some guys you can. So I know that's probably what you try to tell your young kids. You watch their shifts and stuff, and it's the little things, because we've done so much video over the years, after games and on practice days and stuff. And the good coaches show you the things away from the puck, the small little things, right? They don't say, "Oh, look at that! Like you dangled that guy there. That was awesome. Like you had a good game." No, like you did that. You messed up here. You skated by the puck there, or a D-man had a bad gap, because it's tough for a D-man to get a good gap. It's a little extra work. You gotta, you can have a bad gap and kind of fake it, but not when you get to play pro, and not when you're even in the OHL now. I've been to a few Kitchener Ranger games since I've retired and stuff. And there's some guys with some quick feet and explosive speed, because everyone's training now. And if you're a D-man and you got a 10-foot gap, 15-foot gap, like by the time you get going, that guy's by you. So those, it's a lot of little things.